Good day, folks. We are going to be channeling for the divine feminine archetype. So, this is an energy that is not specific to gender. And I had the idea to afterwards also channel for the divine masculine. But let's focus. It's ironic. I had my tarot deck sitting here on the table, and I just so happened to flip the top card to see what was going on, and we had the Queen of Wands. So we have the Queen of Wands here, the witch, the fire element creatrix, kind of overseeing our divine feminine reading. So what I'd like to do is we'll actually start with Kali, with what needs to be removed, what needs to be healed, and what needs to be reclaimed. So I invite you to take a deep breath with me. Let's see. So for all of our divine feminine, channeling for the divine feminine energy within the collective. Okay. Beautiful. I love that we pulled a card with all this feminine energy. We have this balance here. Let's see what it has to say. Krishnal, you can have, and if I might be, oh, I'm feeling very pulled. Okay, yeah, so I'm feeling a strong pull from my left arm. You can have what you need and desire, but you must be prepared to enter into the sacred fire to make the appropriate offering. Shift from focusing on what isn't working to handing over all concerns as a prayer offering to the divine. All can then be resolved and shall manifest according to loving and generous grace. Beautiful. Very interesting. So that's kind of like, you can have what you need and what you want, but you have to be prepared to do the work. And you have to be prepared also to, what investment are we making of our time, of our energy. Um, and instead of worrying about the discomfort, to hand it over. If you're anything like me and you worry about everything and am I doing enough? Should I do this? Should I do that? To just give the worry back, let it to be transmuted and to be in peace. And then let's see, what are we healing here? Kuan Yin, thank you for your grace. Kali, thank you for your message. Okay, so channeling for the divine feminine. Okay, we're getting two. So I'm feeling like this one. So bamboo moon. Did you know that there are no mistakes in the universe, and all events, circumstances, relationships, and situations are unfolding in perfection with the timing and intelligence of the divine plan? Any apparent delay is in your favor. If something is happening for you right now, then that is perfect too. Divine timing is perfection. It is safe to trust this now. So both decks, so are different. And here, this is what also came out. Whilst we each take our own journey to divine bliss and truth, we have soul friends that love us unconditionally and wish to help us find our way home with the least suffering and greatest joy. When we allow ourselves to be helped, we help others too. It is a spiral of support and love that wishes to connect more with you now. So I feel like we're calling in our sisters. We're calling in our sisterhood. There's an archetype, a divine feminine archetype. I believe it's I don't like to use the word witch, but it's the witches. All of our witches, we're maybe struggling with this right now a little bit. If you've come across this video, so learning to let go and trust is a big theme, but to also put in the work towards what we want simultaneously, but be patient and don't worry. Uh, every time you go to worry, if you use that time and energy to then count your blessings, you're in good shape. I want to be sitting to do this, but okay. Ooh, they want a big reading, is what my guides are telling me. We'll do this quick one because I have long. Listen to me argue with them. That's spiritual sovereignty, right? It's that, you know, it's not always jump when it's said jump. Like I want to make my spirit team happy, of course. I want to be of service. Ooh, the irony. Love. The brother in darkness. Whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. We shall overcome any negative energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. Very interesting. So I wonder if the brother in darkness is a protector. Like he has a donkey head. I don't know. I don't know who that is. Interesting. Thank you, Isis. Oh, and who is this that fell out that I did not see? Rising sun. A dark phase and struggle is over. A new phase is upon you, one of hope, glory, light, and triumph. It is won through boldness and persistence. You have been through much, and now victory is upon you, beloved. For the divine solar child, a new consciousness within you is born. Thank you, Isis. So I think for our divine feminines, our divine feminine archetypes, our witches, and people embodying this energy, whether they be male or female, um, we're definitely getting a message to, keep working towards our goals, to kind of have grace to let the worry go, to lean into that feminine energy. When negativity presents itself. So that feminine energy to me, when I sit with that, is to hold it and be present with it and release it simply, like as a mother, a mother whose child is having a tantrum. They sit and they listen. They don't tolerate disrespect. Um, and then they have a solution, and sometimes not so much with the mother and their child, but with a person and somebody bringing negativity in their space. Sometimes the solution is to separate, but or just to be tolerant and be proud. Have hold on, not proud, but have your dignity intact. um, and I think there's a big call for community. It's still August, but here in the northern hemisphere, we're all, I think, getting really excited for the fall to come, and for the witches to come out and play. And I think everybody needs to get together. There needs to be community. Um, I think we're all craving that. You know. Let's see. Ooh, we'll do one of these. So I love this deck, the Intuition Oracle. I enjoy this deck, I should say. 52 Cards and Guidebook to Help Access Your Inner Wisdom by Monty Farber and Amy Zerner. It has really fun imagery. And we'll read the book from this one as well. Oh my god, guys, look at this. Wow. Okay. So these I'm going to give a full shuffle because I use them a lot. So my videos are still kind of awkward. Oh, look at who we have on the top of the deck. And this is our bottom of the deck. We'll read the messages last. Oh, it's saying that this is the one. Okay, and it's so funny. Like, how similar are they? And we should bring our goddesses out. Yes, again, thank you, Kali. Thank you, Kuan Yin. Thank you, Isis. I'm currently doing more research and reading more about these goddesses and their stories. I've read the story of Isis, but I'd like to revisit it. Right. And then Kali, we all know her. Interesting, Kali. I read somewhere, I think I read in a Wikipedia article that there are certain groups that believe that Kali is Parvati, but with the crease between her brows, like she's turned from kind of that Kuan Yin loving archetype into the destroyer. Like you pissed off somebody really soft and sweet, and now they're coming for you, for your butt. There's a little person I know who likes to watch these videos. Shout out to her with all my love. Wah 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 wah. And yeah, I'm not even gonna be shy. And then yeah, so that's one thing that I heard, but I definitely need to actually like read Kali's story. Um, and same with Kuan Yin. I know Kuan Yin is kind of the divine mother, divine healer archetype, very similar to in the Western in I can't I don't know, not all Abrahamic religions, but in like Christianity, and I don't know if Catholicism is considered like part of Christianity. But that seemed like the Virgin Mary, that kind of energy. Um, and then Isis. I started reading about Isis when my daughter was born and her father was missing. Ooh, dude, that's personal. I'll just kind of eat that off the airwaves. Like, watch you get a glitch in your video while you're watching this. No, but I started praying to Isis. So, Isis, like a reclamation. I believe her son was chopped up into a bunch of pieces and put in a chest and thrown somewhere, and she, like, put him back together. I think by her husband, who was possibly a god, maybe Osiris. So again, I have to read up on these. But the messages and the artwork is really beautiful. I think it's important if I'm going to use these decks to, honor these goddesses by doing the research as well. But anyway, um, so this is our card for today. The Sovereign. Boom. I am my authentic self and no one has dominion over me. So sovereignty, that is true. So in terms of like the divine feminine, finding the sovereignty of within your womanhood or within your manhood, expressing divine feminine, or just in general, um you know uh, a cis man tapping into his divine feminine energy, because we all have it, and not only energetically but biologically as well. We have all of the hormones, and everybody has kind of like a different mix of testosterone, estrogen, and there's a few others as well. um, so that being said, we're going to read the book on that. Oh, there's more I wanted to say. Oh, so in the cis male who's trying to tap into their divine feminine energy, um to find sovereignty in your softness, when you're out palling around with your guy friends and everybody's tough, and you want to embody that softness, that sensitivity, to be sovereign in that and unswayed by the behavior of others. And this is, that is what being sovereign is about. And this is being sovereign spiritually. I determine for myself what works with my life, um, and with reverence and respect can communicate my needs as a human being, right? Because we're, spiritual beings having a human experience. And if the team upstairs is having issues with what's going on, we can talk to them and be like, look, this, and this about my human experience right now is what it is. Like, can you help me with it? Or this is the kind of help that I need. Like, you're allowed to be specific. I think like I was raised with certain beliefs, that, and some of them I had to kind of like break down, like this whole idea that, when spirit says jump, you jump. And we want to be careful about what we're channeling, right? We want to, which spirit, because there's a lot. And then there's the deities as well. And there's room for compromise. Um, and then sovereign, it's funny because before this I was shuffling. I wonder if she'd come up again. Let's see. The magician, beautiful. And before, I want specifically beautiful. Those are all really beautiful cards, so thank you. Can you show me the Nine of Pentacles? We're getting real specific. I'm hearing that's not it, but close. Okay. Which one? I'm going to say this one. Ten of Cups. All still really nice cards. So I'll take all of that. Nine of Pentacles came up. So that's, to be sovereign as a divine feminine, we look at the balance of masculinity and femininity in their most obvious forms over history. And there's a clear imbalance. So for our divine feminines, like, to be sovereign not only in spirit but in our lives, to have true freedom and flexibility, I think is really important, and finding a way to make that work. And I'm definitely in that process. Like, I'm just at the beginning of, like, okay, like, here I am. Um, you just at the beginning. I've been working on it for a long time, and I've definitely made mistakes, and things haven't worked out, and things have worked out. And, it's a journey, but that sovereignty. And again, I'm going to reference a quote that I love so much, is that, a rising tide lifts all ships. And also, if you are here to help me, you are wasting your time. If you're here because your liberation is bound in mine, then let us walk together. We're all looking for that sovereignty, sovereignty from systems that don't serve us, sovereignty, intellectually, sovereignty spiritually, emotionally, uh, materially. Um, so this is beautiful. I think this is a beautiful message for the divine feminine. They can all chill here. Ooh, I'm seeing the pyramid. I want another card. Oh, let's see what this says. Maybe we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's why, like, all my readings I have listed, if you look at those and say, damn, that's a lot of money. Yeah, I will ramble. I will ramble, and it's like, oh, 1 hour, and you'll get like three. So, I don't know. We'll see how everything goes. I'm not used to doing this stuff online, but we've started, so we're doing it. And I'm proud of me, and I'm proud of you too. Whatever you're working on, however far you've gone, even if it feels like it's one step forward, 10 steps back, like, you're still doing it. I appreciate you. I see you. I feel you. All right. Let's say 43. Ooh, the joyful. Okay. Affirmation. I am my authentic self, and no one has dominion over me. The sovereign knows her place, and that place is supreme ruler over herself and her personal dominion. She sits on her mountain throne, symbolizing that she is at the peak of human power. Her crown is a reminder that for thousands of years, the world's kings and queens, and the wealthy and powerful too, have all claimed their sovereignty as being bestowed upon them by God, Goddess. Fortunately, those days are waning, though certainly not fast enough, and a clearer picture of sovereignty is emerging. We are all bestowed with the same sovereignty and so called royalty as those now called the elites, who would also rule over us. I love this so much. This is so important. Okay. So excited. Even now that the often power mad people who want to rule over us are trying to usurp the formerly unquestioned sovereignty of religious orders. The power of government should be derived from their people and should be directed for the good of the people, never directed at their people. For the people. Okay. The sovereign's very name is a symbol of her authority. S over reign. She reigns over. S he. Ooh, I love the language play. I love that. If you look at my blogs, that you know I love that. And you will get to know that as I talk with you and dance and stuff with this book. Flying away. Like traditional rule, ooh, her beloved parrot continually reminds her she has a parrot. Oh my god. Okay. I have like a wooden parrot bracelet that my aunt gave to me when I was like 3. Not 3. That was an exaggeration, but anyway. Her beloved parrot continually reminds her by saying this I want it. Oh my god, I want an affirmation parrot. Oh, you could just read this on your own because I keep getting distracted. Say this empowering affirmation again and again because we can never be reminded too much of our divinely given right to rule our own life and be left alone to do so. Bam! Like tradition, and and what's interesting, what I've found is in moments of freedom where I had choice, I faced my own conditioning where I would keep myself um, kind of like attached and or ruled by old conditioning stuff, so like breaking down that conditioning, and that's cellular, like that's not only in your mind and spirit but it's in your body too. I was just reading a great article about like um oh, I'll have to find her account and the podcast. It was a podcast, not an article. But similar to fascia, there's like liquid filled sacs in our tissue that, that store trauma. So the body keeps the score, right? So like flushing, doing those cleanses, the juice cleanses, water cleanses safely with direction from your doctor. um, yeah, it's important to clear out not only trauma but like conditioning, just bad conditioning or bad patterns, habits. And I use the word bad, but you know what I mean. Think that's not serving you. Um, okay. Like traditional rulers, the sovereign wears a special belt called a cincture. I love these card decks because they're educational too. Anyway, a word that means all encompassing, like the borders of a nation or empire, who wore them to show that they ruled all their land absolutely. Her collar is worn up to make visible the rays of power emanating from her. But in her case, she has no need to have power over another. She knows that it is hard enough to have power over oneself. I wish I left those cards out. Because I feel like there's a message that's similar to this in that kind of like, I think through Isis and through Kali as well. When that negativity comes up and that worry comes up, like who you are, your power. Like look at this woman, look at this woman, powerful, powerful, too powerful for that. Let it roll off. Let it just roll off. Let it not even touch you. Let it bounce right off you, right off your field. And I'll take that advice myself as well. Okay. And it is hard to have power over yourself. You know, you are responsible for you. There's no codependency happening here. And that requires responsibility. It requires choice. It requires knowing when it's time to play and when it's time to work, when it's time to be disciplined and when it's time to let loose a little. You know, that's what sovereignty is, and it takes finding that balance to get to that point. Well, you're inherently this, and then we're conditioned otherwise, right? And then we have to like decondition ourselves to come back to sovereignty. The sovereign is here to help each of us know that we are good enough to deserve fair treatment and sovereignty over our body, mind, and spirit without having to ask for it from anyone or any government. So again, there's really important things happening in, you know, if you're here in the United States and really globally, um, in regards to this, something we're all thinking about, especially as women, is sovereignty, coming out of codependency, moving, leaning into empowerment, leading into the work that is empowerment and the fun that is empowerment, and the balance. Okay. Though she has attained great wealth and success by being free to exercise her intelligence, dedication, and creativity, and would be delighted to share what she knows with all who seek their own independence, she knows that most people are not willing to put their ego aside and make time in their busy lives to listen with an open mind to the ideas of another person. Oh my goodness. Okay. The sovereign knows that envy gets people's attention and that a good example is the best sermon. Ooh, I'm getting read by this too, y'all. Oh my gosh. I was just, if you go to Inner Sun Alchemy's channel, I've been following them for a really long time. I really appreciate their knowledge and their professionalism and also their softness, but their groundedness overall. I really look up to this person as a teacher over many years, um, and she was just talking today about envy, about, you know, yeah, the woman overcome with envy kind of like seals her own fate. So we want to say, and especially women, as a woman who's spent a lot of time around other women, as a woman who has experienced envy on both sides of the table, I have been envious. I like to think I'm self aware and I try to learn from people I feel jealous or envious of. Um, or I share with them that, you know, what it is I admire about them. Um, but to be the subject of somebody's envy and jealousy, it could be very nasty. So no more of that, guys. When we feel envious or jealous of somebody, can we please, like, make a list of 5 things that you love about the person that you're jealous or envious of, compliment them, and then come up with a list of ways you can embody more of what you admire in them and realize that it is a part of you inherently. Stop. Like, let's stop the nonsense. Awful, awful things. But we know better. We can do better. Um, the heart of the matter. The sovereign is here to help each of us learn what success really means. Oof. Oh, I should snap into the microphone. Okay. She is more like us than we know. She appears wistful because she knows that so many of us must go through a lot before we understand that true success and sovereignty are one and the same, i.e., being able to exercise our God Goddess given right to always be our authentic self. Ooh, I think Dolly Parton came out with a song recently that's all about just wanting to be who you are and wanting to have the freedom to be who you are. I think for a lot of people, there are a lot of barriers to that, and there are a lot of people being kind of cast out because of whatever it is, because of the way they express their gender, because who they're loving on. And you know this, I know this, maybe that doesn't happen in our circles, but I think it happens a lot in the world at large. And, sovereignty for one of us has a ripple effect to the people around us, as a positive influence and a helping hand. So the more of us that do the work to become sovereign, mind, body, spirit, the more we're united in that quest, and the more we could kind of help one another as well. Let's see. Fear that you are not. Fear that you are. Okay, we talked about this. Fear that you are not capable and doubt that you have a right to be a success. And I deal with this so hard. We all get in red today. Fear that you are not capable and doubt that you have a right to be a success can prevent you from enjoying the life you want and deserve. Many unwisely think that the success of others diminishes their chance for achieving it. No, but the sovereign knows that there is enough in the universe's bounty to go around. Okay, so this is huge. So I still am, I always will be, but like I worked as an artist for a long time. And this is kind of rampant where instead of like um beefing people up and supporting their stuff, and it could be very competitive, and that's so ridiculous because we all literally want the same thing, and there's no shortage of it. And the more we work together and the more we support each other, the better it all gets. So this puts my hairs up because I've experienced this firsthand, and it broke my heart. um so there's no shortage of abundance. Whatever scarcity mentality has been ingrained deep into your bones, just like it has in mine, may it be released. And may it be released for me, for you, for anybody who comes across a video. um that's a prayer you could say for yourself. May this scarcity conditioning be released. Because it's sad. It's sad to watch wonderful people. It's sad to watch a community dissolve because folks don't know how to get along, and folks think that like, oh, if my show sells out, then yours is going to be empty. It's like schedule them on different days, work together. Like, why are we fighting? But I'm sure I will be educated more. But no, actually, I refuse, and that's my sovereignty. I'm not. That's so. Ooh, wow. So that's a practice. Um, there's enough to go around. There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's enough. If you're in alignment and you're doing your calling, it will work out. You don't need. Let's not tear other people down. When other folks are trying to be that way with us, send them love and send them and hope for their healing. I hope you see that uh, you have everything you need. You are everything you need, and that you are a miracle, just like I am a miracle. And we could both do this and both be successful. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Let's work together. Boom, twice the power. Oh, very frustrating. Anyway, many suffer greatly before they learn the simple lesson that money, power, and material pleasures must be used as tools for helping others. If you pursue this kind of true success, then you are bound to succeed and make those you care about fill with pride. Yay! I wish that for all of us with great sincerity. Ooh, my nose is running. I'm getting real excited. I've lost the incense. Okay, so what do we want? So we have our queens here. I'm feeling another card. Who wants to come through? Ooh, a blossom? A star seed? A messenger? Lemuria? I like the idea of a dragon for a divine feminine. Ooh, did my head was my head in the picture? Silly. I'm a total or do we want to do a tarot? You the you the oracle, they said. All right. I claim no title. I am me. I am channeling humbly, having fun, serving my friends and fam. See, yeah. I want a dragon. They're saying Spirit Song Tarot. So I'm gonna go with it. And what happens is like, you know, well, we'll talk about that another time. Okay. So one card, closing message, the Divine Feminine. These cards, I love them. I love that this reminds me of like what is that? Neurons in the brain and the little chemicals going through. But they're too big for my hands to shuffle. So I shuffle like this. Let's see if one pops out. Oh, ooh, oh my gosh. Love. Yay. Next time I'll keep all the cards out and I'll sit down next time too. For some reason I'm watching this through like the video screen instead of here. And that's, I don't know, just because of but if I just sat and did this probably would have been a lot smoother. But anyway, the moon. So the moon's a Cancer card. What do we have on the top? An Ace of Feathers, mental clarity and foundation. Beautiful. So the moon, imagination, perception, mystery. We have the owl, so it's like the wise woman. So the wise woman archetype, the divine feminine archetype, and whether you're mother, maiden, mother, or crone, I think this is pretty universal. I'm feeling like this is very maiden energy, maiden moving into that wisdom energy. And the moon, I think of yin energy, of feminine energy coming in. And it's also about discernment. So as we walk our paths towards sovereignty, I think I've experienced that there are really subtle forces at play that want to pull you out of that energy. And you have to really use your discernment. You have to use your discernment and lean on your community. When it's one witch by herself is powerful, but like a group, stop. Then this, because the original tarot card, you have the two towers with the road in between. And I actually have two towers. I have an obsidian and clear quartz crystal here. Um, with the two dogs on either side and the lobster coming out. So be wise on the path, as you walk through this world and, finding and maintaining your sovereignty, searching for what that means and what that feels like for you individually. And any like weird negative Nancy's that come up and are kind of around the dangers of the path. Use your wisdom, go into your high heart, right? You have your heart chakra, and then like between your clavicle and your heart, that's kind of like your high heart, like bright light green, where if that heart chakra is like a deep emerald, your light green, your light pink, your rose quartz. I have some pink calcite here. That I look at this. This is my high heart, right? And this is like the pieces that have been, not permanently turned, but just a reminder of the shadow of the high heart, right? So we're not playing with shadows. We're staying in our high heart to navigate um, any obstacles on our paths, any illusions on our paths, any kind of conditioning that we're clearing or that we're encountering. Propaganda is real. We're paying attention. We see, and we're also leaning into the mystery, right? The mystery of creation. Because I feel like woman very much represents that. The holder of the egg, the creation power, so powerful and soft and beautiful, forgiving, healing. Awesome. I think that does it for today. My deck is pinging. Do you want to say anything more? Okay, any additional message? Okay, we'll do a dragon. We'll see. There's one card that we'll see if it pops out. What's the time? 40 minutes. I was like, yeah, we'll just do 5 minutes really quick. All right. Okay. Ooh, hi dragons. Ooh, hi guys, I love you. Okay. And all the animals too. I love the divine feminine archetype. It's not me, guys. No, they know. They've been trying to get me to do this for like 5 years. Okay. So Archangel Gabriel's dragon brings purification. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. So if you guys are wanting it here, will bring ascension and healing. See, on the top we have air. On the bottom, the black dragon from Saturn. Yeah, discipline. Beautiful. Congratulate yourself. You have passed a test. Ooh, and there's Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin's pink dragon. I think we have another. Yeah. And then I just want to see her before we go. We have the alpha dragon. I want our lovely. Oh, here she is. Nope. This her? Horse dragon. Okay. Okay. They're all trying to come through now. All right, awesome. You know what? We'll read Archangel. I know this dragon very well. The spiritual discipline. Now, for the longest time, associated discipline with like punishment. And it's not. It's really a gift to give yourself structure and